Hello wonderful person, this is Anton, and in this video we're going to be talking about the mystery of dark matter. But more specifically, we're going to talk and look at a paper that discusses the death from dark matter. In other words, it tries to investigate why is it that it seems that nobody has ever died from dark matter. Let's talk about this, and welcome to What the Math. And I guess we really should start with the fact that we still have no idea what dark matter really is. We only see the effects of dark matter by looking at the galactic speeds and how stars in various galaxies move. And we also see the effects of gravitational lensing when looking at distant objects, because some of them seem to have been sort of shifted and twisted by very dense gravitational attractors. But other than that, we don't really know what it is. For the longest time, the scientists used these really large, really expensive detectors, like this one right here. This is in South Korea, made in collaboration with Yale University, and they've spent billions and billions of dollars to try to discover these particles they refer to as WIMPs, also known as weakly interacting massive particles. So we haven't found anything. We don't really know how exactly dark matter works or what it's made out of. But some scientists started to speculate maybe we can learn more about it by looking at what we know as a fact. And the fact is that many different space phenomena out there have somehow affected human life, or maybe even endangered human life, sometimes almost killing humans. Like, for example, various space debris that we know constantly re-enters our planet. In at least one instance back in 1997, almost killed a person. This lady right here, Lottie Williams, who is seen in this picture holding this part of a launch of a rocket that basically almost hit her on the head, but luckily missed and hit her on the shoulder. And so to try to understand what dark matter might be, several scientists tried to write papers on what could potentially happen if dark matter killed a person. At least one paper back in 2012 investigated this in a little bit more detail to try to discover what would really happen to human body if WIMPs basically hit through it, and what sort of interaction would WIMPs have with humans. And so what they discovered is that a typical human body would receive roughly around 10 WIMP collisions per year, with the most extreme sort of calculation of being 1 WIMP per minute. In other words, you would get hit with one little particle of dark matter every single minute. And this would result in something equivalent to background radiation that we all get right now, from things like cosmic radiation, from things like radon, that's the gas all over the place on our planet. And it would be completely minuscule in comparison. In other words, you would not really feel any effect whatsoever. So for these WIMPs to kill human beings would be quite impossible. And so they kind of abandoned this idea, but then we had another new study that suggested that maybe dark matter is not made out of WIMPs. Maybe it's made of something called macro. Macro dark matter is kind of this new thing that's going on in science, where scientists realize that you can actually create bigger particles out of the same quarks and the same subatomic particles that make up regular matter, but it just so happens that you can make really large particles. And today scientists refer to this as macro dark matter. The paper from 2014 is in the description below if you want to learn a little bit more about it. But the idea here is pretty simple. You can hypothetically create particles that are extremely large in size. Some of them could be as big as, let's say, a golf ball. And they believe that it's possible that dark matter might be made of these unusual particles. And so the very recent paper that was released only a few weeks ago from when I'm making this video investigates this. They decided to approach this from the macro dark matter perspective, and they decided to find out what would happen to human body if suddenly you were hit by this macro dark matter coming out of outer space and hitting your body. Well, the calculations suggest that with certain types of macro dark matter, it would literally be equivalent to being hit by, well, what you see on the screen, a lightsaber. They compare it to this tremendously powerful, tremendously hot plasma cylinder that would pierce your body so fast and with so much power that there would be a hole in your body for no apparent reason. And this is of course interesting because nobody has ever been reported to die from this. And this paper is kind of speculative, very hypothetical, but creates a very important limit for what macro dark matter could be. It means that it cannot be certain things that would have killed many human beings around the planet. It means that it cannot be a certain mass or a certain size, and has to be a lot different. Because if it wasn't, a lot of people would have been already dead from these unusual, mysterious lightsaber strikes across the planet. And one of the reasons why dark matter could even do this to a human body is because it's not really affected by matter as much, but it does have energy in it, and as it passes through different objects, it would leave behind these really powerful bullet-like streaks of plasma that's roughly around 10 million degrees Celsius. So it would still have an effect, but it would just not really interact with the matter. And so by doing various calculations, the scientists behind this paper discovered that, well, there's definitely has to be a limit of size and mass for these macros, because otherwise we would see fatalities from dark matter everywhere. And they discovered that it has to be smaller than a micron, which is roughly around this big. Here's a micron compared to human hair. And it has to be less heavy or lighter than roughly around 50 kilograms or about 110 pounds. So in other words, these macros cannot really be heavier or bigger than that, because they would create these very fatal collisions. We would see these collisions everywhere, and it's very likely that a lot of people would be dead around the world from the collisions with macro dark matter. And even though this paper is very hypothetical, it's a really good start for how we can sort of pin down to what dark matter could be and then start looking for it. Because currently all of the dark matter detectors are only looking for WIMPs. None of them are looking for this macro dark matter, and we don't really even know what to look for. If it is a macro dark matter, how big does it have to be? How massive does it have to be? And so by looking around our planet, and also by looking at essentially the effects of this hypothetical dark matter, we might be able to pin down the sizes and also the masses involved, and then be able to detect it in more detail. Now, how exactly are we going to do this? Well, the paper suggests using people, but also using granite rocks. In other words, by looking around various rock formations, we might be able to see the actual marks from this superheated plasma that could then be used to track down the size and the mass of dark matter. But like I said, it's still really early in its discussion, and according to these scientists, they've only looked around the rocks in the vicinity of their university. They haven't even looked beyond or tried to analyze this in more sort of experimental and scientific way. Nevertheless though, if one day we discover an unusual lightsaber-like mark in a rock or in a person, we know that we may have discovered the elusive dark matter. But for now, that's all we really know. It's still very mysterious, still very elusive. We don't really know what it's made out of. We just know that it has effect on the universe, and very observable effect that's sort of hard to dispute. Anyway, on that note, once we learn more about the elusive dark matter, or once we discover someone who's actually possibly, unfortunately, died from it, we'll discuss this in a little bit more detail. Until then, come back tomorrow to learn something else, subscribe if you still haven't, share this with someone who loves learning about space and sciences, and come back tomorrow to learn something else. Space out, and as always, bye bye.